Hello, and welcome to the demonstration of the Spirent GSS6425 for automotive applications. The 6425 is used in conjunction with a DG CAN record and play system and a 2-axis rate table to provide heading and pitch information as motion during playback. To show the rate table working, we can show that we have full heading control and also independent pitch control. We are communicating with the 6425 via Wi-Fi, and all control can be done via a standard web browser. To be able to play back a previously recorded scenario, simply look at the list of files. If you're not sure which one to choose, simply click on the information button. It will give you details of the signals that have been recorded, the start and stop time of a recording, and in this case the fact that we've got an associated video file which was from a webcam connected to the 6425 during the recording process. To start playback, simply hit the play button. We see that the rate table is now under the control of the 6425 and that the unit is actually being moved to the home position. This is to ensure that any playback starts from a repeatable point. At the moment, playback is not started. We can see this by the fact that the run button is still active. Once the rate table is initialized, we see that the playback starts, and now the turntable moves to the initial position that the vehicle was pointing at the starting of the recording process. So again, this is to make sure that playback is repeatable. We now see that we have GPS data and CAN data being played back. The video file is starting, and this is the video that was taken from the front of the vehicle during the recording process. So we stay here until about 30 seconds to give the GPS receiver enough time to get a fix before we set off. The CAN data that we're seeing here, we're seeing both type 11 and type 29 messages. This is not what you would normally see in real life. Its data has been edited to show that both messages can be supported. At 37 seconds we start moving. We see the vehicle reversing out and that the rate table is following the motion of the vehicle that we can see on the camera. As we drive out of the vehicle parking lot, there is a change in height in the road surface, which we can clearly see as we drop down, and you'll see the kick in the pitch as the vehicle drops down the speed bump. We see our GPS position is following our plot, and we continue to get CAN information being output. The motion of the turntables follow the motion that we recorded from our webcam. Using the two rate tables, the bottom one is providing the heading information and the secondary one mounted on top is providing the pitch information. On the road around the office there are some slight hills, but sometimes it is difficult to see the pitch information. We will be able to see some definite changes in pitch later on in the video. As you can see from the altitude, we are actually coming downhill at this point, but it's difficult to see it. It's only a few degrees, but we are actually dropping down a hill into the local village. As we reach the bottom of the hill, we come to a roundabout where we will turn up a side road, and on that road again we see some speed bumps where we will be able to see the pitch information record and reproduce correctly the changes in the height of the road surface. So we swing round the roundabout onto the side road. And then at this point here we will see a kick in the pitch, and again as we fall down on from the other side. throughout this we're driving through a semi-urban environment, but we do have masking created by the buildings and trees, and we see on the GPS information some of the signals coming and going as they're masked out by the various obstructions. At this point we see that our heading has rotated greater than 360 degrees. The use of slip rings on the base turntable connected through to the secondary turntable allow the unit under test to rotate greater than 360 degrees without any problems of cables getting tangled up. In fact, just to prove the point, you will notice that we actually rotate around this roundabout a full 270 degrees, so our total heading is now getting up towards 700 degrees. So we continue to drive around the road. This is on a sweeping bend, as you can see from the position plot, which you can plainly see from the heading as it gradually sweeps round and follows us along the road. At the end of this stretch of road we drop down towards a roundabout, which is also on a slope, and we should be able to see the change in pitch. We can see now that it's starting to drop down. We can't really see that here. There we go. We're dropping down in altitude. The pitch, we can see now the unit is actually tilting down slightly, and as we round this roundabout you can see that the pitch is pointing downwards but then starts to lift back up as we go back up the roundabout. Again, we're swinging round through a full 270 degrees. The road surface unfortunately is rather bumpy. You can see the pitch information shaking around, and you can actually hear the rate table vibrating because of the unevenness of the road. Driving through the village, we're now on a fairly flat section. It's worth keeping an eye on this vehicle in front of me as we drove round, nearly causing an accident. Coming up to this roundabout ahead. The car in front tries doing a 180 degree turn, and he tries cutting across the roundabout and nearly sideswipes him. Okay, so we're now going back down the same road again, as we can see from the GPS plot, and again coming up the speed bumps, which we'll be able to see any second now. Going up and then down the other side. Again, we're seeing the GPS satellites come and go as they are being masked by the various obstructions of buildings and trees, etc. So we're climbing uphill, and now we drop down towards the roundabout, which again is on a pitch, on a slope. So we see us dropping down fairly steeply, swinging round. It starts to go uphill slightly, but then we'll drop downhill as we come round this side of the roundabout again. and we can clearly see that in the pitch. So again, we're driving round a sweeping bend, which we can see from the video, from the GPS plot, and also from the fact that the turntable is gradually turning round. And then we turn left back into the drive towards the office. And again, there's a change in road surface height where it changes colour. And we see the kick in the pitch as we go up the bump. And we swing round and park up where we started with the rate table in exactly the same position. That's the end of our quick drive round. Thank you for watching.